Imagine a Philippines where every student gets real support, every teacher gets the training they deserve, and every school stands tall under one flag that unites us. Today, we're diving into two powerful laws that shape our future as learners and proud Filipinos. Republic Act number 8545 makes quality education more reachable through vouchers, scholarships, and teacher support. While Republic Act 8491, our flag and heraldic code reminds us why we stand together, respect our symbols, and carry our identity with pride. Think of it this way: education builds the mind, and our flag strengthens the heart. Together, they push us toward a smarter, stronger, and more united nation. Let's break them down in the easiest, most exciting way. Kasi deserve mo to. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to whatever time you are watching me here today. I am Aldersi Cassidy Auman, one of the representatives for Group 2 in teaching profession, here to tell you all about the Republic Acts mentioned. Now, first, let me introduce to you Republic Act number 8545. It expands government help for students and teachers in private schools. It creates money help programs like vouchers, scholarship, textbook aid, training funds, so more Filipinos can get quality education even if they study in private schools. In Section 1 of this Republic Act, it states that Republic Act number 6728, otherwise known as the Government Assistance to Students and Teachers in Private Education Act, is hereby amended to read as follows. First, Section 1, the title. This act shall be known as Expanded Government Assistance to Students and Teachers in Private Education. So, this title helps to tell the viewers this is an expansion, not a brand new charity, and signals the government will give a wider, clearer support to private school learners and teachers. In Section 2, the Declaration of Policy and its definitions, what it says is that in shorter terms, that the state wants quality education that's accessible to everyone. Public and private schools work together in the country's education system. Both are indeed equally important. The government will help improve private education, but still focuses first on public basic education and technical higher education. It also defines basic terms like elementary, the first 6 years, secondary, next 4 years, post-secondary, vocational courses or degree programs with completion certificates from TESDA or CHED. This section explains the why. The law exists because education should be reachable and good for all. It also clarifies what kinds of schooling the law covers so people know if they or their school fits. It benefits the people, as if a family lives in a place with a private high school but no public one nearby, this law supports the student's right to attend and get government help. Knowing the definitions help parents check whether a course is covered. For example, test the certificates for technical training. Section 3, Criteria for Assistance. In simpler terms, the government will choose who and which schools get help using fair criteria. For example, school tuition rates, regional needs, like poorer provinces are given more priority. School performance, students and teachers' academic and financial needs, and school size and location. Preference is given to families earning 72,000 pesos a year or less, or other amounts set by councils. Student beneficiaries should come from accredited or accrediting schools when possible. This section makes the program targeted and fair. The most needy students and underserved regions get first priority. It also pushes schools to maintain quality to qualify. So for example, if you are a low-income student from a poor province applying for a voucher, you are most likely to get help than a student from a well-off family. Schools that apply for accreditation can open up more slots for their students to receive assistance. Now, next section. Section 4. Forms of assistance. In simpler terms, or in shorter terms, assistance come in two buckets. Help for students and help for teachers. Examples include for students are tuition fee, supplements, textbook aid, expansion for educational service contracting or ESC, vouchers, scholarship for top graduates, college tuition help, and an education loan fund. While for teachers are in-service training funds and college faculty development funds. This section matters because it's not just cash for tuition, it's textbooks, loans, teachers, training, and scholarships. That means students get more complete support and teachers get help to improve their skills, which raises education quality overall. This benefits people. For example, you are a student that could get a tuition voucher and textbook money. A private school teacher can receive training funded by the program to improve their teaching methods. Next section, Section 5, also known as tuition fee supplements or voucher system, in simpler terms, says that students in private high schools may receive government vouchers that pay part or all tuition, amounts set by the State Assistance Council. School get reimbursed by the government within 120 days after registration. The program guarantees the same number of slots that used the aid in school year 1997 to 1998, with councils able to expand slots later. Now, this section matters because it let eligible students attend private high schools. Even if they can't afford tuition, the 120-day reimbursement rule helps schools get paid, encouraging more schools to participate. For example, you are a student accepted into a private high school. You can use a voucher to cover your tuition. The school then files to be reimbursed by the government. This reduces the family's out-of-pocket cost immediately. Now, next up is Section 6, High School Textbook Assistance Fund. Here, in shorter terms, it says that there's a special textbook fund in DECS or DEX that helps private high school students to pay for their textbooks. The amount per student won't be more than what public high school students get. Textbook aid is only for those who already receive tuition supplements or ESC help. Why it matters? Well, textbooks are a real expense. This fund ensures students who already get tuition help won't be left without books, improving learning without adding extra cost for the families. Now, for example, if you, a student, gets a voucher for tuition, they might also get textbook assistance from this fund to buy the books needed for their classes. Now, let's dive into Section 7, Expansion of Educational Service Contracting or ESC Scheme. Now, this section says that in simpler terms, DEX will keep making contracts with private schools to cover tuition and other fees for students. If there is no public high school nearby, DEX can contract with private schools there. The per student help won't exceed what public schools cost. DEX must fully pay participating schools within 180 days after registration. Funds will be distributed across regions based on population. Then, an equalization scheme starts in school year 1998. The number of guaranteed slots equals those who use ESC in 1997 to 1998, though council may add more later. Why does this section matters? Well, it's simple. ESC gives steady government support when public schools are unavailable and helps families in areas without public options. The 180-day payment rule protects school cash flow, so they keep accepting ESC students. For example, you are a student in a province without a public high school. You can enroll in a participating private high school and have tuition covered through ESC. The school receives payment from DEX, reducing the family's burden. So, if your family can't afford private high school, a voucher or ESC can help pay tuition. And you might also even get money for textbooks. That concludes my lesson, or the section 1 to 7 of Republic Act 8545. Next up will be explained by Yasmin Casas.
So good day everyone, I am Yasmin E. Casas from BSid Science 1B and I'll be continuing the report from where others left off in sections 1 to 7, covering sections 8 to 14. So first, we have the section 8, Assistance to College Freshmen. Section 8 talks about helping students who are starting college for the first time, especially those from family with low income. Well, college is very expensive, so the government created the PESFA program. So this program gives scholarship and a small allowance to help students pay for school. This help is for students whose families earn 72,000 or less than a year. The government chooses students based on family income, where they live, and the results of tests given by the CHED for degree courses and TESDA for technical courses. This makes sure that students who need help the most get it. So we have here the voucher system of PESFA program. So this voucher system gives students scholarship and allowances directly. It makes sure students from all over the country get a fair chance to study in priority courses set by CHED and TESDA. You can imagine a student from a small town who doesn't have enough money for school, so with this voucher, they can enroll in college without worrying so much about the tuition. Second, we have the tuition waiver. Private colleges and technical schools must give full or half tuition waivers to 5% of their entering freshmen. So this includes top students like valedictorian and salutatorian, as long as they pass the school's admission test. So this encourages high-achieving students to continue their studies even if their families cannot afford tuition. So third, we have the allowance for valedictorians. So valedictorians who enroll in priority courses can also receive a monthly allowance from the government in addition to the tuition waiver. This support helps them focus on their studies. For example, a valedictorian might use the allowance to pay for transportation to school or buy books, which can make a big difference for students from a low-income family. Lastly, we have the allowance for other honorees. So, if the graduating class has more than 250 students, other than top achievers like salutatorian and first honorable mentions may also receive the same allowance given to valedictorians. So, this ensures that more high-achieving students can benefit from the program, especially in larger schools. Now, let's move on to Section 9. Further assistance to students in private colleges and university. Section 9 helps students who are already in college. So the government provides tuition fee support through a voucher system. So the money goes directly to the school to pay for tuition. So this helps students continue studying without worrying too much about tuition costs. For example, a student in a private college studying a priority course like nursing or engineering can use the voucher to reduce the burden on their family while focusing on their classes. So now we have the Section 10, the Education Loan Fund. Also, Section 10 creates the Students' Loan Fund or the Study Now, Pay Later plan. This allows students to borrow money for tuition, books, and other schools' needs. Students only start paying back after they graduate and find a job with a 2-year grace period. The interest is low, not more than 6% per year. The Social Security system also provides loans and help schools improve their facilities. So this way, students can concentrate on learning without worrying so much about money. Unlike, for example, imagine a student who wants to study IT but can't pay tuition immediately. So with this loan, they can study now and pay later after starting work. And now we have the Section 11, Academic Performance Requirement. Section 11 says students must pass most of their subjects each year to get their benefits. If a student fails most subjects, they will lose the eligibility unless there's a valid reason like illness or emergency. So this ensures students stay connected to their studies. Now we have the Section 12, In-Service Training Fund, or what we call the INSET Fund. Section 12 is for private high school teachers. The In-Service Training Fund helps teachers improve their knowledge and teaching skills. Teachers can attend training and workshops to learn modern teaching methods, including using computers and multimedia tools. While only licensed teachers in participating private schools can use this fund, and private schools cannot receive more than public schools per student. This ensures teachers have the skills to provide quality education. Now, let's continue to Section 13, College Faculty Development Fund. Section 13 focuses on college and technical schools teachers. This fund provides scholarships for graduates, degrees, workshops, or seminars. Teachers who receive the scholarship must work for a number of years after completing their studies. The scholarship focuses on priority courses and cannot be used to promote secretarial purposes. This helps improve the quality of teaching in private colleges. So lastly, we have the Section 14, the Teacher Salary Subsidy Fund. Section 14 helps private high school teachers by giving them a salary subsidy. The total salary plus the subsidy cannot be more than 80% of what the public school teachers earn. The money is reimbursed directly to the teachers within 60 days after the school year. If funds are limited, married teachers supporting families are given priority. This ensures teachers are motivated and can continue teaching in private schools. For example, a married teacher supporting a family might receive extra support so they can focus on teaching instead of worrying about finances. So in conclusion, this law helps students from low-income families continue their education in private schools. It provided scholarship, tuition help, allowances, and loans. It also supports teachers by helping them improve their skills and giving them salary support. The law focuses on priority courses, ensures aid is fairly distributed, encourages students to stay committed to their studies, and improve the quality of education for both students and teachers. And that is all for my part. Thank you.
Section 15, Program Administration. The State Assistance Council, or SAC, chaired by the Secretary of Education, oversees policies, program monitoring, and rule-making. DepEd, TESDA, and CHED manage operations for basic, technical vocational, and higher education levels. The SAC, or the State Assistance Council, evaluates school quality before approving aid. This ensures that qualified private schools receive aid for teacher salaries and training, maintaining high teaching standards and professional development. For example, a private college faculty development fund is approved after SAC review, allowing teachers to attend workshops on modern teaching methods. Section 16, Appropriations. initial funding of 1 billion pesos in 1998 from General Appropriations Act as a trust fund, released directly to DepEd regional offices for subsidies without further processing. Future funds come from annual budgets. This provides a steady financial support for salary subsidies and incentives, enabling private teachers to focus on instruction without pay delays. For example, a rural private school teacher receives timely salary top-up via direct DepEd release, covering living costs during economic hardships. Section 17. Penal Provisions. Schools falsifying data, overcharging, or violating rules face program suspension, aid ineligibility, and criminal penalties under relevant laws. This protects ethical teaching environments by penalizing misconduct, upholding teacher integrity, and a fair aid distribution. For example, a school caught up inflating enrollment for extra aid loses eligibility. Affected teachers transfer to complaint schools to continue receiving subsidies. Section 18. Repealing Clause repeals inconsistent provisions of Republic Act 6728 and other laws. This updates old rules to expand aid access, modernizing support for private educators, compensation, and growth. For example, a teacher previously under Limited Republic Act 6728 aid now benefits from expanded subsidies after the repeal aligns with new needs. Section 19. Separability Clause. If any provision is unconstitutional, other remains valid. This safeguards core aid programs for teachers even if parts are legally challenged, ensuring program stability. For example, a court voids one funding rule, but salary subsidies continued uninterrupted for private high school teachers. Section 20. Effectivity takes effect upon publication in the official gazette or newspaper, with new assistance starting the next school year. This allows smooth rollout of benefits, giving teachers predictable timelines for salary and training support. Example, published in March, teachers in private vocational schools access new NSIT funds by following the June term. Section 21. Implementing Rules. Department of Education issues rules within 90 days. This clarifies that application processes, making it easier for teachers to claim subsidies and incentives promptly. For example, DepEd guidelines detail license submission for salary vouchers. A new private school teachers file easily and gets aid on time.
Okay, good day everyone, and welcome to our presentation that discusses RA 8491, Flag and Heraldic Code of the Philippines, presented by yours truly, Ashlea Capin. Alright, so let me introduce you to the core message of RA 8491, which is also known as the Flag and Heraldic Code. This is all about how we should respect and handle our national symbols, enacted in February 12, 1998. This law clearly spells out the proper procedures for things like raising and lowering the flag, when to display it, and how everyone should behave when the national anthem is played. And it is also essential since it is designed to protect these symbols and ensure we honor our national identity. Okay, So, by understanding these sections, we can appreciate what makes this law so valuable and how systematically it approaches our symbols. So, if you look at the structure, you'll see the first three sections. What the law is and what its goal are. And then we dive right into chapter 1 covering the national flag. So these sections are critical because they give us the official details from the exact design of the flag to the specific rules about where it must be flown permanently and how it should be treated in specific circumstances such as merchant ships or when planted on the ground. And okay. So next is so for the first section, this act shall be known as the Flag and Heraldic Code of the Philippines. So hold on. And it is important to teachers since the teachers are the primary enforcers heeding or needing to model respect and guide students in the proper behavior like standing straight with their hand over their chest during the anthem, and they also ensure the physical rules are followed, such as making sure the classroom flag is clean and displayed correctly, like for instance the blue over red properly hung, which are crucial real life applications of the code. Okay, and alright. So next section is the section 2, the declaration of policy. So this section directly defines the role of the teaching profession because the law aims to inculcate patriotism and respect, and also teachers are very vital. So their responsibilities including modeling discipline during ceremonies, like for example not laughing or joking around during the national anthem, and actively ensuring the flag is always clean and treated with dignity in the classroom, and pausing all activities during school programs when the anthem is also played. Next is the section 3, definition of terms. So this act dedicates significant space to the definition of terms, which is crucial for preventing misinterpretation. And this section establishes the precise legal meanings for terms like military. This shall mean all branches of the armed forces of the Philippines, including namely the Philippine National Police or the PNP, the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology, and the Bureau of Fire Protection. So that's what we call them, the military. Next is the feastin. So feastin mean to hang in a curved shape between 2 points as a decoration. So kabante mo nang karing mura siya banner gani, something like ga curve siya gaana dito kana ana muna iyahang design. So that is feastin. Next is the flag. So we all know what flag means, alright? So our flag, so this shall mean Philippine national flag unless stated otherwise. And then fly shall mean the part of the flag outside the hoist or length. So next is the symbol. This shall mean any conventional sign which reveals man's achievement and heroism. For example, kabantay mo anong mga sergeant, mga lieutenant na sila murag medals on their chests. So that is their symbol. Like here, yeah, here the coat of arms, the logo, and the insignia. Okay, so next is the half mast. So half mast means lowering the flag to one half the distance between the top and the bottom of the staff. Okay, next is the hoist. So hoist shall mean the part of the flag nearest the staff or the canvas to which the halyard is attached. And next is the inclement weather. This shall mean that a typhoon signal is raised in the locality. And then national anthem means the Philippine national anthem. So next is the official residences. This shall mean like where the president resides, and the president, we already know that the president resides in Malacanang, so that's the official residences. And then the other government owned structures where the president resides, yes, this is the Malacanang, and other structures occupied by the Philippine consulate or embassies abroad. And then the places of frivolity. This shall mean places of hilarity marked by or providing boisterous merriment or recreation. And lastly is the institution. This shall mean the National Historical Institute. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe sa akong pagsabot ani is this is a museum of the history of the Philippines, I believe. Okay, since we are done with the section 3, let's discuss the relevance to teachers. So, according here, it ensures correct use of terms when teaching or leading ceremonies, which is very true, okay? There are some students that would ask a teacher na, ma'am, what's the meaning anak ma'am? So you as a teacher, you should also need to know all these definition of terms so that you can provide the correct meaning, or you can explain the rules clearly to the students so that it could prevent the misinterpretation of the flag protocols and also the symbol usage. Okay, next is the chapter 1, which is the national flag. So in section 4, the design of the national flag. So the flag of the Philippines has a color blue, white, and red with 8 rayed golden yellow sun and the 3 5-pointed stars as consecrated and honored by the people as a symbol of our freedom, patriotism, and national pride. And it is also important to teachers that they teach the students the correct colors and symbols of the flag. Like, there are times na some students would be confused. They would, the red be on top and then the blue became the bottom, which is, we already know what could that mean, right? It means war. So as you teacher, you need to help your student understand the meaning behind the colors and also the sun and the stars. So we already know that the 3 stars means the Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, right? So we should also need to help the student, try to make them understand what meaning that is. And also, you should be a role model in respecting the flag ceremonies to the students so that in the future they could adapt what they have learned during their elementary days. Okay, next is the section 5, hoisting and display of the national flag. So the Philippine flag must be displayed daily in public buildings, official residences, public plazas, and schools, which is the institutions of learning, so that it is a that reminder to everyone our national pride, unity, and identity every day of the year. So the flag must be hoisted permanently day and night at key locations including the Malacanang Palace, Congress of the Philippines, Supreme Court, Rizal Monument in Luneta, the Aguinaldo Shrine in Kawit, the Baraswain Shrine in Malolos, and then the Tomb of the Unknown Soldiers, which is the Libingan ng mga Bayani, and the Mausoleo de los Veteranos de la Revolucion, the all international ports of entry, which is, for example, the airports, ports. So that's example of the international ports of entry, and also other designated places by the National Historical Institution. And then proper illumination is required at night so that the flag is always visible and respected. So, kabantay mo ng kadaagi nato sa plaza, butnan gid na nila, light ang sa may plug fall. So, that's what it means. And the importance to teachers is that we can use these key flag locations to teach students about national history and also heritage. And we should also emphasize the significance of permanent display as a symbol of our national pride, and we should encourage our students to understand the importance of proper care, respect for the flag. Like for example, a teacher teach students the importance of illumination and proper handling even outside school. So I just also wanted to share na pag elementary na ako, I have experience raising and lowering the flag, and also my teacher before helped me teach how to fold the flag properly, and up until today I have still remember how to do it. So yeah. And the next one is the section 7, which is the display on special days. The Philippine flag should be displayed in private buildings and residences or raised on flagpoles during special days. The mention in the bullets here, the Araw ng Kagitingan, Labor Day, National Flag Day to Independence Day, the National Heroes Day, Bonifacio Day, and Rizal Day. And also, according here, that year-round display, so the private buildings and offices may display the flag throughout the year if they follow proper flag raising ceremonies as prescribed by the office of the president. So the importance to teachers is that, teachers is you can explain to the students the importance of the national days and why the flag is displayed. And nakahinungdan sa ko ato on my elementary days, one of my teacher encourages us to participate in ceremonies and patriotic activities such as, maghimo mi og kaning mini flag, tapos maghimo sad sila kaning something ceremony, tapos kami magsige mig wave sa flag. So it is very, for me it is very memorable day sa ako, kay na feel na ko ang unity and also the pride in me, in me. Yeah. So next is the section 8, observance of Flag Day. So according here, all government offices, agencies, local government units, and government-owned corporations must observe Flag Day with proper ceremonies, and social-civic groups like NGOs and the private sectors are encouraged to participate cooperation in the celebration. So, okay. So next is the section 9, flag on the Philippine ship. So in section 9, gi-encourage diri nga all merchant ships of the Philippines registry over 1,000 gross of tons dapat na-adjudge siya flag or Philippine flag on top. And also all naval vessels including mga military ships, ganon. So, they encourage to do that so that foreigners would identify Philippine ships at the sea and represent the sovereignty and dignity of the nation. So, here is the naval display rules. So, at anchor, flag on the flagstaff at the stern, and at the sea, flag hoisted to the gut at the aftermast. And the teacher relevance and real life application is that teacher can use this to explain maritime rules and symbolism of the flag, and they should also integrate lessons about national pride, maritime history, and sovereignty. These can also be included in ESP, in Araling Panlipunan discussions about the respect of the national flag also. Next is the section 10, flag positioning. So the flag, if flown from a flagpole, shall have its blue field on top in time of peace and the red field on top in time of war. If in hanging position, the blue field shall be at the right, left of the observer in time of peace, and the red field to the right, left of the observer in time of war. So, like what I've said earlier, if mishandled ang ato ang Philippine flag, ma-misinterpret sa uban. So since we already know the history, the Philippine history and the articles behind it, we should also share it to the young ones who still have questions. So, as it was said here, na to have a proper handling of the flag, the blue must be on top, and it should be at the right. So, if magunit ka sa PC, when you raise the flag, naa siya sa imuhang left of the observer. Pero, if naaga ni, and then the red field to the right, left of the observer in time of war. So, ma-right ra siya if time siya sa war. That's it. So, the importance to teachers is, yes, here, like what I said, ensure students understand proper flag display during ceremonies, and that teacher should teach the symbolic meaning of the colors, like blue for peace and red for war, so that the students reinforces the discipline and attention to detail in handling the flag. So that's what I've said earlier. And lastly is the section 11, placement of the flag. So when planted on the ground, nasa day siya i-roll sa pag-place of flag. So according here, if it planted on the ground, the flagpole must be at a prominent place, and height should give the flag a commanding position relative to nearby buildings. So, kabantay ta ng atong flagpole is super taas. So, that's what they meant here, a commanding position. And naamang ni uban nga butngan sad nila platform para mura siya mas mutaas pa. And then also when attached to a building, so if attached do kuno sa building, a pole on the roof or angled, sailed projecting upward gihapon. So excuse me. If stage or platform placement, so flag must be at the right side facing the stage or left upon entering a government office. So naasa day sila proper placement if ever we decided to put the Philippine flag at the stage or upon entering the government offices. So the teacher, so nasa tani sa teacher must teach the students position classroom flags correctly following this rule, so that so that they ensure students to recognize proper protocol in assemblies or ceremonies, and that teachers respect and proper visibility of flag in all setting. So that is all for my part, and let me give you the platform to the next reporter who will continue the discussions of RA 8491 next sections. That is all for me, and thank you. Bye!
Hi there, everyone. Good day. This is Frex Dave Hergelin, assigned to continue the discussion of sections 12 to 22 of the Republic Act number 8491, or known as the Flag and Heraldic Code of the Philippines. So without further ado, let us start. Allow me first to continue the discussion of Part B, hoisting and display of the national flag. Section 12. When the Philippine flag is flown with another flag, the flags, if both are national flags, must be flown on separate staffs of the same height and shall be of equal size. The Philippine flag shall be hoisted first and lowered last. This specific section is often observed during a state visit in the Philippines. The Philippine flag is flown on one staff, while the national flag of the visiting dignitary is on another staff of equal height and sizes. However, if the other flag is not a national flag, it may be flown in the same lanyard as the Philippine flag but below the latter, and it cannot be of greater size than the Philippine flag. I don't know if you're familiar with the flagpole in front of the new City Hall building of the Danao City Government. You will see there at the center of the flag stood the tallest pole, because it is where the Philippine national flag is displayed. Behind it were 42 shorter poles, and it is where the 42 flags of the 42 barangays of the Danao City will be displayed. Section 13. When displayed with another flag, the Philippine flag shall be on the right of the other flag. If there is a line of flags, the Philippine flag shall be in the middle of the line. So going back to the first example, during a state visit, the Philippine flag is positioned to the right of the visiting flag, or left of the observer's viewpoint. One solid example is when the South Korea president, um, President Yoon Suk-yeol, visited the Philippines for strategic partnerships. You will see there in the photo that the Philippine flag is displayed at the right of the South Korean flag, or the left of the observer's eye. You will see in the photo. When carried in a parade with flags which are not national flags, the Philippine flag shall be in front of the center of the line. In a parade with other national flags, if it's with other national flags, it should be to the right or left of the observer's viewpoint. Always kinasya. Sa right side ang Philippine flag, or at the left of the observer's viewpoint. If tura. However, if there is a line of flags, the Philippine flag should be at the center. I think you're familiar with it since it is performed during a moving up or graduation ceremony, the entrance of colors. As you can see, diba, nga the Philippine flag is at the center, and the following or at the back are the kanang flag of the educational institution and also the flag of the DepEd of Danao City, 'di ba? If I remember correctly. Section 14. A flag worn out through wear and tear shall not be thrown away. It shall be solemnly burned to avoid misuse or desecration. The flag shall be replaced immediately when it begins to show signs of wear and tear. So, a worn-out flag must be solemnly burned to avoid misuse and desecration, called the burning ceremony. This ceremony is a dignified event that honors the flag as a symbol of our national identity, integrity, and independence from the colonizers. The ceremony is often held in conjunction with a flag lowering ceremony. So usually it is done in Fridays, no, during a flag retreat ceremony. And patriotic songs are played like the Philippine National Anthem, the Lupang Hinirang. Usually, it is led by the Boy Scout and Girl Scout of the Philippines, along with other organizations. So if you are a Boy Scout or Girl Scout during your elementary or high school years, so there's chances or higher ang chance nga na-experience yun ni siya nimo nga ceremony. After the flag has been burned, the ashes should be buried at least 1.5 deep in a respectful manner. So after na burn ang flag, i-kolekto ang ihang mga ashes, no? Tapos ilubong siya sa yuta at least 1.5 deep ang gilangmon. The flag shall be raised at sunrise and lowered at sunset. It shall be on the mast at the start of the official office hours and shall remain flying throughout the day. So, according to the section 15, is that the flag shall be raised at sunrise. So, usually during 7 to 8 a.m. or 7 to 7:30 in kanang public institutions like kanang government offices or educational institution kanang mga public schools, and lowered at sunset. So usually it is done during Fridays afternoon, like 4 to 5 p.m. ingana nga time, and it shall be on the mast at the start of the official office hours. So before mag-start ang work or mag-operate ang kanang public nga institution, the Philippine national flag should be at the pole na siya sa top sa pole naka-display before mag-start gyud ang work or ang eskwelahan og operate, no? And it shall remain flying throughout the day. So dili siya tangtangon until maabot ang Biyernes sa hapon. Moving on to the section 16. The flag may be displayed. The Philippine flag is to be displayed daily throughout the year in public buildings and institutions. But there's a special period called the National Flag Days from May 28 to June 12 in the Philippines, where all government offices, businesses, schools, and private homes are enjoined to display the flag. So, if mag-start na gani ang May 28, no? So, ang mga people or ang mga Filipino sa Philippines is gina-encourage or they are allowed to display the Philippine national flag anywhere sa ilahang home, sa ilahang offices, sa ilahang business, or sa mga eskwelahan. It may be displayed A. Inside or outside a building or on stationary flagpoles. If the flag is displayed indoors on a flagpole, it shall be placed at the left of the observers as one enters the room. So, if naka-display ko no siya sa kanang indoors, sa kanang buildings, no? It should be displayed at the left of the observer's viewpoint as one enters the room. So, na siya sa right side sa building, but left siya sa point of view sa kanang mutanaw. If musud siya sa kanang main entrance sa usa ka building, dapat ang iyang makita is ang national flag is gidisplay sa iyang left, sa iyang viewpoint. B. From the top of a flagpole, which shall be at a prominent place or a commanding position in relation to the surrounding buildings. So, if naa siya outdoor gi-display sa kanang flagpole, dapat naa kuno siya sa prominent place or kanang commanding position. For example, if naay building diri, and also building sa center. So, of course, i-display na to ang national flag sa center gid na kay prominent place man, and pwede na siya or it is often elevated using kanang mga platforms made of cement, no? C. From a staff projecting upward from the windowsill, canopy, balcony, or facade of a building. So, pwede po siya sa kanang staff lang, kanang tubo, but i-upward ang iyahang pagka-project. So, dapat nakaatubang siya up, no? Sa inyong windowsill, sa kanang outside bitaw sa inyong bintana, sa canopy or kanang roof sa inyong bahay kubo, like that. And balcony ninyo or facade of a building or atubangan sa building. D. In a suspended position from a rope extending from building to pole erected away from the building. So, pwede po siya sa kanang rope siya ibutang, no? Dapat ang rope is nakatay sa kanang pole and also the building, and dapat kanang naka-suspending position kuno siya. So, meaning kanang it is vertically displayed, tapos ang stars and also the sun is nasa top, and make sure nga kanang ang iyang blue field is nasa right or left sa kanang observer's viewpoint. E. Flat against the wall vertically with the sun and stars on top. So, pwede siya sa kanang i-flat, di mo siya i-display flat sa wall, but make sure nga kanang vertically displayed siya, and also ang iyang kanang stars and the sun is naa sa babaw. And of course, do not forget nga ang blue field is nasa right or left sa observer's viewpoint. And lastly, hanging in a vertical position across a street with the blue field pointing at east if the road is heading south or north, or pointing north if the road is heading east or west. So, medyo kuan siya, no? Kanang tricky yung direction. But, always remember gyud nga if ang, di ba, kalsada, and if ang road is padung north to south, meaning gidisplay siya og kanang nag-atubang bitaw siya sa kanang mga sakyanan nga nangagi. Meaning, nakaana siya dito. So, if ingani daw ang iyang pagka-display, dapat ang stars and sun naa sa babaw. And also, ang iyang blue field is naa sa east or naa sa kanang right. Naa siya sa right or left sa observer's viewpoint. Dapat inyo ginang timan-an nga ang blue field in times of peace is always gina siya naa sa right if vertical, no? And also naa siya sa left sa observer's viewpoint. If the road is heading east or west or nakaana siya dito pagka-display, dapat daw naka-point sa north ang blue field. So kung asa ka padung, dapat dito naka-direct ang blue field. So if padung ka dito, padung atubangan, dapat no ang blue field na apud sa atubangan. So naa siya diri nga side. If ana siya pagka-display, again, naglibuta. If ana siya pagka-display, no, ang road is heading east or west, no, nakaana siya pagka-display, dapat ang blue field is naa sa north nag-direct. So kung asa ka padung, dapat dito naka-direct ang blue field. So meaning if padung ka dito, no, dapat ang blue field kay naa diri nga side, no? And of course, ang stars ug sun na diri. No? However, if padung pug ka diri, padung ka south, ang padung ka nako, ang blue field is napo diri. Ayo lang gid kalibog, guys. No? If nakaana siya pagka-display, nakaatubang siya sa kanang mga sakyanan, no? Ang iyang blue field is nasa east, nasa right, and left siya sa observer's viewpoint. No? Top, stars, sun, and blue field kay naagid na sa left sa observer's viewpoint. If nakaana po siya pagka-display, nakatakilid, kung asa ka padung or asa imuhang north, dapat dito naka-display ang blue field. Okay? It symbolizes peace. Kung peace time. The flag shall not be raised when the weather is inclement. If already raised, the flag shall not be lowered. So, if ang weather kuno is not good, like it's going to have a heavy rain or windy, kanang it is advised nga dili na daw i-raise ang flag if inclement na ang weather. However, if it is already raised, kay pasagda na lang siya, no? Dili na lang siya i-lower until maabot ang flag retreat ceremony or flag lowering ceremony. Lastly, Section 17. The flag shall be hoisted to the top briskly and lowered ceremoniously. So, dapat in-grace nimo sa flag kay kuan siya quick. Not too quick, but quick lang nga ma-raise siya dali, briskly. And if i-lowered na pud siya sa flag retreat ceremony kay kuan siya ceremonious until mahuman ang kanang last beat sa Philippine National Anthem, Lupang Hinirang. The flag shall never touch anything beneath it, such as the ground, flood, water, or other objects. So, dapat, no, dili siya masadsad sa kanang ground ang flag. So, hold gina siya og tarong sa kanang inig flag ceremony. Makabantay mo. I-fold siya, tapos i-unfold, higton sa kanang flagpole, naay magsabit sa iyang shoulders sa flag. Dili gina siya dapat mo touch sa ground. After being lowered, the flag shall be handled and folded solemnly as part of the ceremony. So after lower ang flag, na siya sa kanang bottom sa pole, so kung anon siya, no, iantay siya, tapos imuha siyang pilon as part of the ceremony. Tapos i-keep siya sa kanang place nga dili bitaw siya ma-damage. Since the Philippine flag, our national symbol, represents the sovereignty and dignity of our nation, and Philippine law mandates its prominent and respectful display. The rules ensures the Philippine flag is always the primary symbol when displayed and hoisted, taking precedence in position and size to avoid any disrespect to the nation. So of course, no, our Philippine flag is our national symbol. So nag-symbolize siya sa ato ang dignity, atong sovereignty, and most importantly, ang ato ang freedom, no, ato ang kanang independence from our colonizers. Many colonizers in the Philippines, no? And one of the symbols nga kanang of our freedom is our national flag. So of course, ang ato ang pag-display o pag-hoist ana niya is dapat with respect yun, no? Dapat with dignity, with pride sa ato ang kaugalingong nation. Now, let's move on to the part C, the conduct of flag raising ceremonies. Let's go first with Section 18. All government offices and educational institutions shall henceforth observe the flag raising ceremony every Monday morning and the flag lowering ceremony every Friday afternoon. The ceremony shall be simple and dignified and shall include the playing or singing of the Philippine national anthem. So according to the Section 18, guys, no, all public institutions, especially mga government offices and educational institutions, nga kanang mga public and private schools, is advised to observe the flag raising ceremony every Monday morning before mag-start ang formal nga operating hours or office hours, and the flag lowering ceremony every Friday afternoon, no, after mahuman ang weekdays of work and kanang school, no. So the ceremony shall be simple, dapat simple siya, no, and dignified, so with respect to the national symbol, and shall include the playing and singing of the Philippine national anthem. So usually, no, sa mga government offices kay kanang mag-incorporate sila og kanang mga band, mga DLBC para mo play sa kanang Philippine national anthem, and sa kanang mga schools kay usually mga sound systems or kanang mag-acapella sila, no, manganta ang kanang mga students while naaiga kanang beat sa atubangan. Section 19. The office of the President, upon the recommendation of the Institute, shall issue rules and regulations for the proper conduct of the flag ceremony. So, ang implementing agency kay mao ang National Historical Commission of the Philippines, and its recommendations guide the office of the President in creating the rules and regulations for the proper conduct of flag raising ceremony inside the office of the President. So, their goal is to ensure that ceremonies are simple, dignified, and consistently uphold reverence for the flag, national anthem, and other symbols. So ang office of the President, guys, no, kay naa sila kanang specific rules and regulations nga kanang dili siya kaayo different, but kanang more siya specialized like that. Section 20. The observance of the flag ceremony in official or civic gatherings shall be simple and dignified, and shall include the playing or singing of the Philippine national anthem in its original Filipino lyrics and march tempo. So ang pag-perform or ang pag-observe sa flag raising ceremony sa kanang mga civic or official gatherings kay always remember nga dapat simple ra gid siya and dignified, and it should incorporate the singing of the Philippine National Anthem, Lupang Hinirang in Filipino lyrics, and march tempo, which is 100 BPM or beats per minute in duple meter or 2/4 time signature. So dili gina siya dapat gina-change, guys, no? Section 21. During the flag raising ceremony, the assembly shall stand in formation facing the flag. At the moment the first note of the anthem is heard, everyone in the premises shall come to attention. Moving vehicles shall stop. All person present shall place their right palms over their chests. Those with hats shall uncover, while those in military, scouting, security guard, and the citizens' military training uniforms shall give the salute prescribed by their regulations, which salute shall be completed upon the last note of the anthem. So, of course, no, during the flag ceremony, if magsugod na gid siya kay, everyone shall come to attention. Dapat mamati gid ka sa, or you have to engage yourself in the flag raising ceremony. So, you shall come to attention and place your right palm over your chest. And you should also sing the Philippine National Anthem. Now, the question is, if you are inside a vehicle, are you required to go out? The answer is no, you are not required to go out. However, you are required to stop, no, and place your, of course, place your right palm to your chest. So you are not required to go out, but you have to pay respect to the flag ceremony by stopping and placing your right palm over your chest. And also, if nakay hat, kay shall uncover. Tangtangon mo. And you should also sing the Philippine National Anthem, of course. The assembly shall sing the Philippine National Anthem accompanied by a band if available, and at the first note, the flag shall be raised briskly. So, if available ang band, no, if na band ga available kay, pwede gid nga mautuang mo tugtog for the Philippine National, for the flag ceremony, I mean. So, naka-witness na ko ana siya during katong pag Independence Day sa nag-celebrate og Independence Day ang Danao City Government, which is kanang ilahang flag ceremony is really kanang amazing kay it was incorporated by band, no, with kanang DLBC, and also kanang naagi mga uniform personnels nga ni join sa kanang ceremony, as well as mga Boy Scout and Girl Scout of the Philippines. It was a fun experience since kanang after that ceremony is we are able to kanang perform our dance presentation, no, about kanang about the youth and ang ilang role sa kanang sa society, like that, like nanayong may atog kanang before nanayong may atog kanang mga indigenous nga Filipino folk dances, and after that kay katong mga modern dances na din like hip hop, contemporary dances, no. And at the first note, going back, and at the first note the flag shall be raised briskly. So if kanang na dungog na ganin nimo ang first note, so dapat quickly nimo siya i-up ang flag, not too quick but kanang quick lang gid siya, briskly. The same procedure shall be observed when the flag is passing in review or in parade. So typically this kanang events are kanang observed during kanang military review or kanang military parade, where kanang ang national flag is kanang gina-carry siya or ginabitbit sa kanang mga colored guard past an assembled audience or kanang reviewing officials. So naay kanang magbitbit nga mga colored guards, then muagi sila sa kanang mga reviewing officials or mga reviewing personnels nga nag-assemble. Lastly, Section 22. During the flag lowering, the flag shall be lowered solemnly and slowly so that the flag shall be down the mast at the sound of the last note of the anthem. Those in the assembly shall observe the same deportment or shall observe the same behavior as for the flag raising ceremony. So, during the flag lowering, the flag shall be lowered solemnly and slowly. No, kay hinay-hinay lang siya since dapat at the last note sa kanang lupang hinirang is ang flag is naa na siya sa kanang down, na siya sa ubos sa kanang pole. Dili siya dapat paspason since you have to time the kanang Philippine National Anthem ug ang pag-lower nimo sa flag. And those in assembly shall observe the same. So magkuan sila, mag-place gyapon sila sa ilang right palm sa ilahang chest and musing sila sa atong Philippine National Anthem, no? Which is Lupang Hinirang. Of course, in the same beat ra gihapon and march tempo, which is 100 beats per minute in duple meter or 2/4 time signature. Overall, appropriately conducting flag raising ceremonies is crucial for fostering the values of patriotism, unity, respect for national identity, and the sacrifices made for freedom. So of course, no, ang ato ang kanang correct nga pag-conduct sa atong flag raising ceremony is maka-help gid siya in order for us to realize nga kung unsa gid ka importante ang kanang ato ang Philippine national flag, unsa ang iyang meaning nga gina-carry, no? And also ma-foster pud nato ang kanang values of patriotism, unity, and respect for our own national identity, and also sa kanang mga sacrifices or katong mga sacrifices nga gibuhat sa ato ang mga national heroes, no, in order for us to gain our freedom from the colonizers. Conducting the ceremonies appropriately is about more than just following rules. It is a manifestation of love for oneself and an active way of acknowledging and upholding the values the Philippine flag represents for the future generations. That would be all for my part. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Frex, for that warm introduction. So now let us proceed to the following sections of the Republic Act 8491. I will be discussing today the sections from 23 to 33, which I will divide into 5 categories, which are: first is half-mast, second is casket, third is pledge to the flag, and fourth is flag days, and fifth is the specifications of the national flag. Alright, so let us now proceed. I have a question for you guys. So have you ever wondered why is the flag flown at half-mast when a government official or a higher-ranking official passes away? Okay, so this is done in accordance to the Section 23 of Republic Act 8491, which states that the flag must be flown at a half-mast when a government official or a high-ranking official passes away to express mourning. So, an example of this, when former President Fidel E. Ramos died at a certain age, this section was visible all throughout the nation. The flag in the most government buildings or even schools were flown at a half-mast to express mourning of the deceased former president. Alright, so the duration of days when the flag is flown at a half-mast differs to the ranks of the government official. If the president dies, the flag is flown at a half-mast for 10 days, and for the lower officials like Vice President, the President of the Senate, the flag will be flown at a half-mast for 7 days, and any officials lower than those, the flag will be flown at a half-mast below 7 days. Alright. The next category is the casket. So, according to Section 24 of the Republic Act 8491, the flag may be covered above the caskets of those fallen soldiers who died in the line of duty and for the service to the nation. This is done to honor the contribution and the legacy of those fallen soldiers. And this can only be executed to follow today's following individuals. First is the military veterans, government officials, notable civilians, and national artists who paved the way for greatness. And in terms of positioning, the white triangle must be at the head and the blue field must be on the right. And the flag must not be buried with the body. And after the ceremony, the flag is folded and turned over to the family. Example of this is when a policeman was killed in the line of duty, or a military veteran who died in the middle of a war. This particular section in the Republic Act shall be implemented. So the next category is the pledge to the flag. So according to Section 25 of the Republic Act 8491, it states that all Filipino citizens must pledge loyalty to the flag and shall recite the Philippine Pledge of Allegiance correctly. Example of this is during the Monday flag ceremony at a public high school or any government institutions wherein people place their right hand over their chest and recite the panunumpa sa watawat ng Pilipinas as part of the program. So the next category is Flag Days. So according to Section 26 of the Republic Act 8491, wherein it states that during May 28 to June 12, this is termed as the National Flag Days, wherein during this period, all government offices, agencies, instrumentalities, business establishments, schools, and even private homes are encouraged to display the Philippine flag. This formalizes a nationwide period to visibly display the flag, boosting national spirit and awareness. An example of this, during the National Flag Days, all the government agencies display the flag, the national flag, to celebrate the National Flag Days. And now we are down to our final category, which is the specifications of the national flag. So the sections under this category, has its purpose, and that is to ensure quality and uniformity. To elaborate, specifications for procurement, inspection, and standards ensure that every government-used flag meets consistent quality, meaning no cheap, no badly made flags. This preserves the flag's dignity and prevents misuse or misinterpretation. So let's go and discuss each sections from this category. Starting with Section 27. So the Section 27 of the Republic Act 8491 talks about the proportions of the national flag. It states and specifies the official proportions of the flag, and that is the width of the flag must be 1, length must be 2, and the sides of the white triangle or the hoist side must equal to 1. The sole purpose of this is to ensure uniformity and properly produced flags. Next is the Section 28. So Section 28 talks about the technical specifications of the flag or the colors. According to Section 28, it provides the official color codes of for the flag, wherein we have blue, cable 80173, white cable number 8001, red cable 80108, golden yellow for the sun and the stars is cable number 8006A. This ensures that the flag have the correct and consistent colors, not approximate shades. Next is the Section 29. So the Section 29 talks about the standards and procedures for the flag production or procurement. According to Section 29, it requires that any requisition for government use Philippine flags must strictly comply with the design, color, craftsmanship, and material requirements set by the government. Moreover, submitted flag samples by suppliers must be inspected and approved by appropriate agencies. And quality of materials must also be evaluated. Next is the Section 30 of the Republic Act 8491. Section 30 talks about the inspection of delivered flags. According to Section 30, flags purchased by the government of offices must undergo inspection, and it also must follow standards approved by the National Historical Commission. Its purpose is to ensure quality and prevents cheap, inaccurate, and disrespectful versions of the flag. So the next section is Section 31. Section 31 talks about the guidelines for standards and procurement. According to this section, it requires agencies like COA, ITDI, PTRI, and NHCP to issue a detailed guidelines on flag production and inspection. This is to create a technical system that guarantees uniformity in all official flags. Moving on, let's have now Section 32. Section 32 talks about compliance by all government agencies. According to Section 32, all government units must comply with flag standards and proper usage. This section emphasizes that respect for the flag is not optional, but it is a mandated responsibility as a citizen. And now we are down to our final section in the specifications of the national flag category, which is Section 33. Section 33 talks about the budget allocation. It states that all government units, from national agencies down to the barangays, must allocate a budget to purchase a flag. This is to ensure that every government office has the means to properly display the flag and avoid situations where torn, faded, and incorrect flags are used. To sum my discussion up, Sections 23 to 33 are about respect, uniformity, and national identity. They make sure that the flag is treated properly in times of mourning and honor, and that government agencies uphold high standards in the production and display of the national flag. These rules preserve and the dignity of our symbol and strengthen our sense of national unity. And that's it for my part. Now, thank you all for listening, and I hope you learned something from me. And I will now give the stage to our next reporter, Miss Skyna Joy Menchavez. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Before we proceed to our topic, let's play a game first. Feel free to pause the video to know what the game is. Are you ready? Let's start. Our topic for today is all about prohibited acts. Section 34. It shall be prohibited to mutilate, deface, defile, trample on, or cast contempt. It is because you are not allowed to damage or disrespect the Philippine flag in any way. For example, tearing or cutting the flag, drawing or writing on it, stepping on it, throwing it into the ground, using it in a way that makes fun or if it makes it look bad. You should always treat the Philippine flag with care and respect because it represents the country and its people. While on letter B, it means you cannot lower or bow the flag to show respect to a person, group, or object. In some countries, flags are dipped to honor someone, but the Philippine flag should never be lowered or bowed to anyone, not even leaders, officials, or visitors. No person or object is above the flag, so you cannot lower it as a sign of salute or tribute. Letter C, number 1. The law says the flag cannot be used like an ordinary cloth. You cannot hang it around windows or doors like curtains. You cannot decorate rooms or stages by wrapping the flag around pillars or railings. You cannot lay it on flat table as a tablecloth during events, because a flag should always stand in a proper position of honor, not used like a fabric for decorating. Covering objects with the flag treats it like a cloth. The flag should always be displayed fully and respectfully, not used to hide or wrap something. Number 3 means that you cannot stick the flag on a car or motorcycle for decoration. Place it on the hood, roof, ears, or back part of a vehicle. Use it as a small flag waving while the vehicle moves. Because the flag may be exposed to dirt, wind, and damage, it can also appear as if the flag is being used for personal pride or show off instead of national respect. Number 4 means you cannot use a flag like a tool, rod, or weapon, because doing this treats the flag like an object or plaything, which is disrespectful. Number 5 means that during ceremonies, sometimes a cloth is placed over a monument and pulled away for dramatic effect. The law says the flag cannot be that cloth, because pulling the flag down or using it to reveal something looks disrespectful and treats the flag like a props. However, the flag can be used as a drape over its statues and monuments as long as it is done with reverence and proper respect. The flag must not be used in ways that could cause it to be damaged or disrespect. And the last part means that businesses cannot use the flag as part of their logo, put the flag on packaging like bags or boxes or labels, use the flag in advertisement to promote a product, print the flag on items being sold like notebooks, uniforms, shopping bags, and etc. Because the flag represents the whole country, not a business. It should not be used for profit or commercial gain. It shall be prohibited to display the flag, number one, under any painting or picture, because the flag should always be in a position of honor. Placing it below other objects makes it look less important or lower than the item above it. Number two, the flag must always be hoisted, raised on a pole or hanging freely, not lying down. Raising it allows it to move freely and gives it dignity. Number three, you cannot place a flag under a stage, podium, or performance platform. Being placed below a platform puts the flag in a low position where it can be ignored, stepped on, or overshadowed by people above it. While number four, the flag cannot be displayed in places associated with gambling, nightlife entertainment, or immoral or inappropriate activities. The flag symbolizes national dignity and honor, placing it in places where people drink, gamble, or engage in activities seen as inappropriate can disrespect the flag. Section 34, letter E. You cannot use the actual Philippine flag as clothing or use any part of it as clothing material. Wearing the flag treats it like ordinary fabric. The flag represents a country and should not be worn or used as fashion. Letter F means the flag's design should always remain pure and unchanged. Altering it in any way is disrespectful. No one is allowed to change or add anything to the flag. While letter G, you cannot put the design of the flag on items like handkerchief, tissue or napkins, pillows, cushions, rags or mats, bags, or any commercial product used daily. These items can be stepped on, sat on, or thrown away. Letter H. This means foreign flags cannot be displayed publicly in the Philippines unless it is an embassy or consulate, or it is an official international organization like UN and ASEAN offices. Public spaces should prioritize the Philippine flag. If a foreign flag is displayed in public spaces, it might look like the area is controlled by another country or another nation's presence is given priority and the Philippines is giving up its symbolic authority in that place. Letter I. You cannot use a flag to promote a product, company, event, or any commercial matter. The flag should not be used for business profit or commercial attention. Lastly, letter J. This means you cannot place a flag outside buildings where foreign nationals or non-Filipino are the main occupants. The flag symbolizes national sovereignty. Displaying it in front of buildings controlled by foreigners may confuse national representation. Then let's proceed to Chapter 2, the National Anthem. Section 35, the National Anthem is entitled Lupang Hinirang, which we all know about. Section 36. This means that no matter where you are, inside the Philippines or abroad, the Philippine national anthem must always be sung in Filipino or Tagalog, because Filipino is the national language of the country and the anthem represents national identity, unity among Filipinos, and patriotism. Section 37. Whenever the national anthem is sung or played using instruments, it must follow the original musical arrangement created by Julian Felipe, the composer of Lupang Hinirang. This means you cannot change the melody, you cannot change the tempo, example, make it too slow or too fast. You cannot remix it into another different style like pop version. You must perform it as it was originally composed. The next one is Section 38. Whenever the Philippine national anthem is played in any public event, everyone present must stand and sing the anthem. The singing must be done with fervor. What does fervor mean? Fervor means strong emotion, passion, and sincerity. People cannot stay silent, sit down, ignore it, continue doing other activities. The anthem shall not be played or sung for mere recreation, amusement, or entertainment purposes, except on the following occasions. A. International competitions where the Philippines is the host or has a representative. B. Local competitions. C. During the signing off and signing on of radio broadcasting and television stations. And this is the example of letter C. Letter D. Before the initial and last screening of films and before the opening of theater performances. And letter E. Other occasions as may be allowed by the Institute. The last part of Chapter 2 is Section 39. Everyone who works in government offices, local government units, government owned or controlled corporations, schools may be public or private companies that display the flag must follow the proper and correct way of performing the national anthem. If an official employee or institution does not follow the proper guidelines, they can be warned, reprimanded, suspended, and punished according to government administrative rules. Let's move to Chapter 3, the National Motto. Section 40, the national motto shall be Makadiyos, Makatao, Makakalikasan, at Makabansa, which we all know about. Then Chapter 4, the National Coat of Arms. The coat of arms must always follow the official design. This means the colors, symbols, shapes, and arrangement cannot be changed or redesigned. It contains three important symbols: a shield with blue and red fields, the sun with 8 rays representing the 8 provinces, and then the 3 stars representing Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. It also includes the American bald eagle symbolizing history of US influence, the lion of Spain symbolizing Spanish heritage. These symbols show the country's history and identity. Now, let's talk about Chapter 5, the Great Seal. Section 42. The design of Great Seal includes the official coat of arms surrounded by the words Republic of the Philippines. The Great Seal is placed on documents that come from the office of the President and other high nation offices. If the document has a Great Seal, it is official and legally recognized by the Philippine government. Section 43. This means that all important documents signed by the President, especially commissions, meaning formal appointments of officials, must have the Great Seal stamp or attached to them. Aside from commissions, the Great Seal is also used for other official government documents, papers required by law, documents that tradition or long-time government practice requires to have the seal. This means the President of the Philippines is responsible for safekeeping the seal, allowing its proper use, making sure it is not abused or misused. And this is the last chapter of my report, Chapter 6. Section 44 states that any government entity, including the military, is allowed to create and use its own coat of arms, seal, logo, insignia, badges, patches, banners, awards, citations, and decorations. However, this can only be done if Congress or the Office of the President authorize it. Why is this allowed? Number 1. To identify government offices clearly. Different government agencies have different functions. Having their own official symbols helps the public easily recognize them. For example, the Department of Health has its own logo, while the Philippine Army has its own insignia. Number 2. To show authority and authenticity. Official seals and insignia prove that a document, uniform, or announcement truly comes from that agency. It prevents fake documents or unauthorized uniforms. Number 3. To present their mission and history. Each agency can design symbols that reflect their purpose and values. For example, the Navy uses symbols related to the sea. Number 4. To give honors and recognition. Agencies, especially the military, give badges, awards, and decorations to recognize bravery, service, or achievements. And lastly, to ensure uniformity and legal control. Requiring the authorization of Congress or the Office of the President prevents misuse, confusion, or inappropriate designs. It ensures everything remains official, respectful, and consistent with national standards. And that would be all, guys. Thank you. Sorry for the typo and misspellings and mispronunciation, and also the noisy background. Thank you for listening.
Good day, my name is Brent Lyle M. Armamento, and I'm going to tackle Republic Act number 8491, section 45 to 55. Section 45. Heraldic devices, example coats of arms, seals, must be submitted to the Institute for official recording and review of their rank, design, and alignment with cultural customs. So, for example, a city government creates a new official seal with a lion and palm tree. Its design respects local tradition and its rank is appropriate for the city. The institute later drafts rules on how to format seal submission which the president approves. Section 46. All government offices, including the military, must buy heraldic items only from institute-accredited makers. These items are inspected by the officer's internal inspector and a COA representative, using design specs approved by the President or Congress via institute. Section 47. Government officials and employees cannot accept foreign orders or decorations without two steps. The institute first evaluates and documents the item and Congress give its consent. For example, a cabinet secretary is offered a order of merit from a foreign country. So before accepting, the institute review first to confirm its significance, then the secretary congress for ask for permission. Only after both are done can they accept it. So in chapter 7, penalties. This is just the continuation of the RA or the Republic Act 8491, Section 48. Violating the Act or its presidential rules leads to public censure, published in a newspaper. So after notice and hearing in private school violates it twice to have their recognition or permit cancelled by the DEX or the CHED or the Commission on Higher Education. Example in public censor. Example, a government agency uses all unrecorded heraldic seal. After being notified and given a hearing, it is publicly censored in the Philippine Star. So, another example for school cancellation. So, example, a private college failed to follow flag ceremony twice. So the institute recommends cancellation and the CHED revokes the college's permit after a hearing. So in section 49, DEX and the CHED or the Commission on Higher Education must ensure all students memorize the national anthem per presidential rule. So it is very clear and understandable as section 49 stated that all students must memorize the national anthem or the Lupang Hinirang. So in section 50, individuals or companies that violates the act face fines must pay 5K to 20K and a 1 year in jail. For example, a government employee accepts a foreign decoration without Congress consent. Then she or he convicted and fined 10,000. So gipamulta siya og 10,000. Now we are down to Chapter 8 or the Common Provision. Section 51. The Institute must make implementing rules within 90 days of the Act taking effect and submit these rules to the Congress and President para maaprubahan or ma-approve sa President. Section 52. The Institute enforces the Act and can ask any government body for help to do this. So Section 53, if part of the Act is declared invalid or unconstitutional, the rest of the Act still applies. Example, a court rules that Section 48 penalty for private schools is unconstitutional. All other sections, like those on heraldic filing or foreign decorations, remain in force. Section 54, Repealing Clause. Any existing law, order, or rule that conflict with this act is cancelled, changed, or updated to match. Next is Section 55. So this is the last section under the Republic Act number 8491. So the act became law 15 days after being published in the official gazette or to general articulation newspaper.
And this is I, Alder C. Cassidy C. Auman, here to give you a heartfelt thank you for listening throughout and learning from these two laws. Maraming salamat po at ito ang Group 2.